I lied to you guys again. I am so sorry. I need to realize that on Saturdays, I need to not say, "Oh, I'll see you tomorrow." Not a big lie, an innocent lie. For those of you just tuning in, I don't lift on Sundays, and yesterday was Sunday. And on Saturday, I said, "Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow." So I will try and get better at that, I promise. Today, as I was reading through Ephesians 1, I'm on Ephesians now, or I'm sorry, Philippians. I'm in Philippians now. I kind of wanted to talk about what I felt that jumped out at me was the way we conduct ourselves and our image. So today, after the verse of the day comes up here, I'm going to talk about your image and how we carry ourselves and what we can do to conduct ourselves in a manner that is worthy of not being frowned upon. Because last thing you want to do, what do they say? They say people make a first impression on you within the first 15 seconds, whether it's verbal or nonverbal, and more of the way we conduct ourselves is nonverbal. And I know, of course, they say don't judge a book by its cover, which is extremely important as well. But if you're mopey and a nasty person, what do you think people are gonna? How do you think people are going to identify you as the type of person you are? They're gonna identify you as mopey and nasty, right? Well, the verse is about to come up, and then I will continue talking. Philippians 1:10. For I want you to understand what really matters, so you may live pure and blameless lives until the day of Christ's return. Now, that was the first verse that caught my eye when I was reading Philippians, but if you go all the way down to the bottom, where Paul is talking about being a citizen of heaven, he talks about the way we need to conduct ourselves, the way we need to portray ourselves, saying we have to conduct ourselves in a manner of worthiness, so that when we share the good news of the gospel, people will listen because they see you as someone they can trust. They see you as the type of person who they want to listen to, right? I know all you guys can relate, and I've kind of talked about this in a previous video, but all you guys can relate to that one person you work with who's really nasty and kind of brings down your mojo. And what do we naturally do? We naturally try and stay away from those people because we don't want them to bring down our mojo. If we're feeling good and then you run in with someone who's notoriously just kind of bitter, it's going to rub off on you. When I was in nursing school, I had a clinical experience with a nurse who was, he'd been there a while, he was jaded. You could tell he just hated what he did. Extremely mopey, very slow, didn't enjoy, it was very obvious he didn't enjoy what he was doing at all. Sure, very knowledgeable, good at what they do, a great nurse, but their attitude was just horrendous. It was like a I can't be type of wrong attitude, very mopey, very slow to walk around places, know it all type of deal. And, being with that clinical, for my clinicals, being with him started to rub off on me. I started hating being there. I had a bad experience. I was like, this is not at all what why am I with this dude? This dude sucks. And he was a good nurse, but he was just extremely nasty, really mopey, hated his life. It was obvious he hated what he did. And to me, at that point, if you hate what you do so much, quit. All you're doing by staying there and being there and continuing to be nasty and mopey and getting worse day in and day out because you've been there for so many years, all you're doing is bringing down the overall morale, especially of these new grad nurses who are there and are looking forward to finally starting their career. And then the old nurses are just making them hate their lives and question what they're even doing in the field of nursing. And yeah, the field of nursing is it's not an easy field by any means. It's actually pretty difficult. But it is a great field. As nurses, we get to be with people when they're most vulnerable. We get to help people when they're most vulnerable. We could be the light that a lot of these patients don't get to see. So what does it say about you as a nurse when you're nasty? Well, it shows you hate your job. You probably hate yourself. And then the patients probably aren't going to be healing as quickly either. I mean, there are research case studies showing that the attitude of the nurse has a direct correlation with the outcome of a patient. If you're a nasty nurse, if you are not trying to talk with the patients, if you're not encouraging conversation, what do you think is going to happen to the patient? The patient's going to shut down. The patient's not going to feel good. They're not going to feel like any of their information is being left or met. They're going to be confused. They're going to be lost. And frankly, it is a direct correlation with the length of stay in a hospital. That's sad because we can control our attitude, right? We can decide I'm not going to be mopey. We can decide I'm not going to be nasty. I'm not going to hate my life. Everyone say hi to Nala. She wanted to be in the camera. She kept jumping up trying to look at it. But yeah, don't be nasty. I mean, we can choose our attitude. We can control our attitude. And if we are not holding ourselves accountable and having integrity, and if we are being nasty, how are we going to... We're not conducting ourselves in a professional manner, especially in the field of nursing. And I know I'm talking a lot about nursing in particular, but that's because that's what I do. But that is an extremely professional manner. I mean, anything that you do outside of college as a professional career it's professional. You've got to be respectful. You've got to have integrity. You've got to work hard. And if you're mopey and nasty, all that says to everyone else is you're not working hard. All that says to everyone else is you're not happy. You hate what you're doing. And if you hate what you're doing, then leave. You know, this is America. We are blessed with the ability to go and find jobs left and right. It is not difficult to get a job. I remember when I lost my job a couple summers ago, when I was still a student, I walked in the Walmart the next day and got a job the following day. It's not that difficult to find a job. Sure, it might not be a job you want to do, but it is not hard to find a job. You know, go deliver pizzas for crying out loud. Then you get food and money. Yeah, that's kind of my little soapbox there. We need to conduct ourselves in a professional manner. I got a really heavy set coming up here. 345 for 3. Hope you guys enjoy it. And God bless. The video's going. I'm just taking off the light. You want to help?
No.
Okay.
Am I in it right now?
I don't think so. We need to buy one of those little racks that's on the ground that has little slots so you can put the weight in it.